Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gdansk, Poland. Day number 2 on week number 6 of this Junior Grand Prix series. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty. Up next is the pairs free program, and after the short, Zhang and Feng of China have a good lead of 6 points over Desrochers and Thrasher of Canada in second. Both teams are positioned well to qualify for Nagoya.
The battle for bronze and the 11 points is between Williams and Lewer of the United States of America and Potoki and Lacasse of Canada. Both already have 11 points from the series and coming into the free, and whoever grabs the bronze or better is most likely going to secure their place in Nagoya, Japan at the final.
It's the pairs. It's risky business, so anything can happen. 19 teams from 12 nations. The pairs free begins right now. Welcome to beautiful Gdansk. We take a look at the shadows passing over some of the beautiful buildings in the old town and the flyover of the Olivia Arena here. Built in the 1970s, it's a big, big arena, that's for sure. A little chilly, but beautifully decorated. Looks great on camera, that's for sure. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty, joining you, the viewers from around the world, for the Paris Free program, the first medal event here on day number 2. Mark?
And what an exciting event this will be as we see the starting order for the pairs free skate, not just because of the medals to be decided, but also confirmation of the places that will be taken at the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan. 6 teams will know within the next 4 hours at most whether or not.
Wow,
well, the junior women event starts in 3.5. So
that's a 6-hour event, I think. It's as long. Okay, here we go. And we just finished the rhythm dance. That was a lot of fun, of course. Take a look at the officials for this event. And as always, we do thank them very much for the time they give to the sport. I know it's their passion as well, but it's time away from family and friends and work as we take a look at the technical panel as well.
Great to see throughout this event already that we have different nations leading the different disciplines. So Chinese team of Zhang and Feng leading this competition, Slovakian and the Selenilova, the women's event. And in the men's competition, Taiga Nishino from Japan, and then the ice dance, which is just concluded, is the Ukrainian team of Irina Podgina and Artem Koval. So a whole host of different nations being represented across the different disciplines, and that's wonderful to see.
And we've noticed that over the last few years, the strength is spreading around the world. I mean, we've had some really strong skating from Estonia, from Latvia, from Slovakia, from Czechia, obviously from Japan, Korea as well, and the United States and Canada. And, it's really starting to spread. And it's really good to have this happening on the Junior Grand Prix as many of these skaters will move in years to come up into seniors.
And great to hear also of, the ISU Council meetings which have been taking place and new bold decisions on the sport innovation, the global development, and there have been further examples of that. Yeah, 2-day meeting.
Yeah, but are we still working?
Yeah, they haven't made a decision to axe us just yet, although there's always time.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ISU Council reaffirming its commitment to the ISU Vision 2030 and the organization's strategic transformation plan, with skaters remaining at the heart of all major decisions. And one thing that I read during our break between events was very exciting for the skaters to see is that they're including increased prize money for some of the skaters.
That's great. That's about time. That's really good.
And also pioneering measures to protect athletes from online harassment, and that's something that I think
really good.
Really, really, really good.
Oh, that's super. That is super. Okay, I love the ISU's Vision 2030. I like the fact they're trying to take a look at our sport and keep what is great about it, which is most of it, and correct. Because times have changed. This world changes so quickly. You have to adapt with it, and I'm glad to see the ISU taking it seriously.
And I think, things like increased prize money is, I think, sometimes a little vulgar. In the UK, it would be vulgar to talk of money, but it's... If we are endeavouring to be, as the ISU Vision 2030 encourages, to be transparent and honest, it's honest and right for us to acknowledge that this is an expensive sport, and depending upon the support available to the skaters on the ice from their governing bodies, much of this may be self-funded, and so it's further enticement to know that if they push themselves and they manage to achieve prize money, that will facilitate their continued development as skaters.
Yeah, to me, I mean, really with Do people in the UK think that's vulgar to talk about money?
Yeah,
I mean, they
like a
talk
kind of-
about millions or hundreds of millions for soccer players. Football.
True, actually, yes. Some things are kind of mainstream accepted to talk about money, but then it seems a little bit undiscussed. And yeah, I think it's open, it's honest, it's acknowledging just the reality of much of life. Is
These, for the most part, these are amateur, if you want to call it amateur professional athletes that are paying for all of this. They need that funding and they're earning it, which is a great thing. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, athletes deserve it.
So we have lots of questions, but that's only of singles. Is that correct?
I shall refer back, and again, confirmation that we would love to hear from those that are listening. We would love to hear not just from those that are listening any questions that they may have, but also the things that they love so much about the sport, and indeed in our continued participation about the discussion of the future of figure skating in a competitive arena. What things are there that you would most like to see? Are there things that you really resonate with and connect with, and things you don't?
It's funny. We've been asking this of audiences for 6 weeks now. And I think, and it's an interesting question because I think they find it hard to say, well, what would I change? What would I change in this sport?
It's
How
fine
could
to
I change
critique,
it?
but what would you?
And sometimes looking to change something, you might find what you've got is pretty good with some adjustments. So I don't know. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that, if people take a look at it, well, how would it change? And the great thing is the question's out there.
Yes.
So I think ideas, and we may hear crazy ideas. Maybe our ideas are crazy. It doesn't matter. The point is people need to think about it. They need to explore and discover, put it on the table. We'll see where it all settles in years to come.
Indeed. Very open to hearing more. Other questions that have come in to us, Ted, from @Lee's Mice. Any tips on how to pass the time between watching all of the amazing skaters during the competition? Well,
how to pass the time?
Between watching the amazing skaters, I think, do you know what I would suggest?
Are they talking us or them?
Them. My suggestion would be, if you're interested only in the skating and not the stuff that goes in between, then you stretch or you go up and do some steps, because you and I are sitting on our backsides getting not much action, physical movement.
Very good point.
So please, figure skating global community, do some exercise for us, because we are tied by a headset to the chair. Yeah.
Interesting question. That's a good one.
And other things that some of the skating fandom that are watching are interested to know about are some of the features for the pairs lifts. So within this junior event, there'll be 2 lifts. Well, there could be more. There could be a choreographic lift, but 2 level assigned lifts overhead in the pairs event. So we will give you some of the features that are necessary for attaining the level 4.
Yeah, it's generally around the woman changing position and the man changing holds, and the number of rotations in those holds, the difficult dismount coming down maybe with a flip, and difficult entry. And of course you've got the different lifts, group 3, which is hand to hip, and then the group 4, which is hand to hand, and group 5, which is the reverse axle, or the axle lift. Okay, now we got to get going here. Our first team represents Switzerland. Chiara, Michela, Pazienza. Oh no, sorry.
Chiara, Michela, Pazienza.
Thank you, and Maxime Noor. There we go. That was awful.
Sylvia. Yes, Mickey. How you call your lover boy? Come here, lover boy. Just a little bit longer. Please, 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 tell me you want to. Now your daddy don't mind, and mommy don't mind. If we have a dance, yeah, just a one more. When your baby leaves you all alone, and nobody calls you on the phone, or Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like a crying? Well, here I am, come on, you're crying. Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like a crying? Come on, cry me. Come on, take my hand, baby, won't you walk with me? Oh, yeah.
Nobody takes baby anymore.
Now
Switzerland's Chiara Michaela Pazienza and Maxime Knorr skating to music that they have always wanted to skate to from the start of their partnership and showing appropriate choreography to the classic Dirty Dancing track.
And, you know, Mark, I found it interesting because I enjoyed the selection of music because I was getting confused between, am I watching the dance event and the pair event?
Yeah.
We've always said the pairs, don't have enough time to, have a different story or have a different, theme, if you will. And that this was a really good pick because the mixture of the dance music and the technical elements, well done.
Yeah, and you can just see though that, well, here actually, as we look back at the performance, you can see the smile on the faces and the commitment to the stylization. They were totally invested in the concept of the Dirty Dancing. Their split twist, it's number one.
Here's a look at the triple toe loops. That comes in the system as clean. Single axel and then single axel. Toe triple salchow. That is clean as well in the system, but a minus GOE, of course, for the 2-foot landing. And group 4 hand-to-hand lift. Change of position, and that comes in at a level 3. So missing the change of hold, I believe, for him. He didn't go to a one hand. There's the throw double flip. That's nicely done. And that lift just did not go up. It did not get it right above his shoulders, unfortunately, and he had to bring it down safely, which was good on him.
And for Chiara and Maxime, they haven't had the experience of a Junior World Championships. That'll be something that they're focused on and trying to achieve the minimum technical element score. They had a bit of a nightmare with the short program for Maxime in the spin, and then struggled a little bit with the pair combo spin here, just forced to put 2 feet down at the end of the program, but so incredibly exhausting to do a pairs free. And now still, as we've said, we're in October.
Yes.
There's still time.
Yeah.
Still run through time to amass more comfort and to be able to achieve the second lift in the program and get the technical score from that too.
Yeah, this is normal. We're still relatively early in the season. We're moving along, but it's still early on in the year. Let's take a look at the score. 62.72 for Kiara and Maxime. They are the first team out.
Their total competition score is 97.23 points.
There is our next team. They represent Spain, Ines Moudden and Alejandro Lazaro Garcia. And they were in Bangkok. They placed 12th in that event, Junior Grand Prix event, a little earlier this season.
And this team, due to the injury, forced to use last season's program, but a fun one that it is. Spain's Ines Moudden and Alejandro Lazaro Garcia complete a stronger free skate than that which they performed in Bangkok, but unsurprising given the limited training time that they have had. And whilst the team has been so impacted by the knee surgery that Ines had, they do bring more characterization than so many others, and I was so conscious that both Ines and Alejandro were really conscientiously interpreting throughout the skate.
And, you know, we talked a little bit offline on this, and I just wanted to mention, we don't mention costumes very often, but I think this is a very tidy, clean-cut costume that works perfectly with the music and gives them a feeling of more experience than perhaps they've had a bit of a rough year. But I think it's really tidy. So I think that all the costumes have no points attached to them whatsoever. They do have an impact on how you perhaps see the whole package.
Yeah, and I think, you know, their coach had explained how happy they are with the costume designers. We see the third double Saco and the help that they have from the Spanish costume creator that they have. So appreciation from coach, skaters, and
yeah, there's the Group 5 reverse lift, change of position, change of hold. See the dismount here. This comes in at a level 3, so just missing one of the features, probably not the dismount. And here's the throw double flip. That was nice.
And I think what's probably quite important to acknowledge is we see Alejandro working through the rotation here, is that this team really have to use this season as just an investment in amassing more experience. They knew that they were not competitive because of the timeout that they'd had. She can only train one throw per day, really. She can't do an abundance of throws because of the fracture in her knee, and it's her landing leg too. So they're using this for next season, hopefully, or for the later part of the season, to continue to educate themselves and to continue to try to support Spanish skating. And their coach, Ehrhard Gimeno, really, she's such a pioneer for promoting Spanish pair skating too.
Yeah, that's great.
What does that? I want to know. What does that mean? I didn't ask them that.
Oh, now you're.
No, I need to know.
You're going to stress out, right?
Somebody knows. Somebody's enjoying.
Okay, you're going to find out. Well, let's take a look at the score. 75.72 is their season's best. They have a, 66.93 was their season's best, and the 69.58, which is a new season's best. That's first, with a 109.37 total score for the competition.
Which is their new season's best. Their total competition score is 109.37 points, which brings them currently in the first place.
There's our next team. They represent Austria, Paula Jurisic and Mikhail Savenkov.
And their participation here, giving Paolo and Mikhail ISU personal best scores. They have competed a couple of times internationally, but this a bigger stage for Paula and Mikhail, and they will skate. It's an interesting choice. Peaky Blinders by Nick Cave and Radiohead.
Forgive me, here I cannot stay. Cut out my tongue, there is nothing to say. Love me alone, he threw me away. He laughed at my sins in his arms and I stay. We speak when spoken to. Suits us well. That suits me well.
Take a little walk to the edge of town and go across the tracks where the viaduct looms like a bird of doom as it shifts and cracks, where secrets lie in the border fires and the humming wires. Yeah, man, you know you're never coming back. Across the square, across the bridge, past the mills, past the stacks. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand.
Austria's Paula Jurisic and Mikhail Savenkov complete their free skate, and I was just thinking, Ted, that Mikhail had seemed so very conscientious throughout the performance, being so safe, being so attentive, being so mindful of the partner, and then a shame that on the final element, the back inside death spiral, that perhaps just thinking that the end was nigh, slight release from the energy required before the final position.
Well, and you need that pull between the partners, and if that dies, if that just sort of sags in, and you don't have the strength to hold up, no, it just collapses, and I think that's what happened there, and he feels real bad, Mikhail, because you feel it's your responsibility.
And I just, can't stress enough the exhaustion of the team. And that's why I felt that Mikhail was just being so mindful of preserving energy a little bit as we see the split twist.
That was nice. It was a level 3, in fact. So 3 out of the 4 features. That was good. Here's the double total. Pardon me. That was nicely done. And here's group 5 axle lift, where she steps up and around him. There's the one arm, so that's a change of hold and a change of position by her. There it is. That comes in at level 3. So probably missing the difficult dismount, maybe. I'm not sure. But 3 out of the 4 features. There's the throw double loop right there. Back inside death spiral. Let's see what happens here. It starts out kind of okay, but she starts to move in towards him. He's leaning back. He leaned back too far, and there wasn't enough pressure to him to be able to pull himself back up. And then the death spiral collapsed. Losing the pivot. The base level though.
But, my admiration for all the pairs is huge. And I think I don't want to keep raving about all these coaches, but I feel there's this Severin keeper who joins them in the Kiss and Cry is one of a group of young coaches that's really trying to keep pairs discipline alive. Like, they're really trying to do all they can.
Don't worry about raving about the coaches. Okay. I don't want to rave about the coaches. If they
deserve it,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? These kids depend on the coach's knowledge, depend on their moral and emotional support. And if you don't have that, that's more risky than any element you can do on the ice. And these coaches do deserve a tremendous amount of credit for what they're doing for these people first, and as skaters as well. So they deserve credit. I don't think they get enough of, personally. So carry on.
So Severin Kiefer, well done.
Okay, there you go.
And it's interesting because Severin alongside, we've got others that we've seen on the Junior Grand Prix, and a group of a similar generation of male pair skater that are co-aligned and trying to keep pushing the next generation.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the free program scores. Part B, 63.82. That will put this team currently in the second place in the free program with a total competition score of 103.64.
Their total competition score is 103.64 points.
Now, their coach, Severin, will work with them to understand, what happened on that element or anything else in the program. It's all part of the process, all part of the procedure in assessing where they're at, assessing where they want to go, and then assessing and developing a plan to get there.
And interesting as we head into this next group, and it's really important that we acknowledge that in our long days we might forget certain names, but in this event and over the course of the Junior Grand Prix, Severin is here. Look at the Mate, similar kind of age skater. We've got in the next group, the next coach, Chris Boyadji, who I think will have competed against Severin. Then we've had Andrei Otrek,
Kirsten Moore-Towers.
Kirsten Moore-Towers. And a lot of those names, I'm pretty sure, all competed against one another. And so we're seeing really, literally, a parenting generation passing the...
And it's interesting, I was speaking with Kirsten, and she is always, she's so wonderful. I trust her instincts. She may not trust her instincts yet because she's been a skater. Now she's a coach doing a great job with Jacob in Richmond. And but they, when you're new at something, you're wondering, is this the right thing? Is it not the right thing? Now you're on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
And so you maybe question yourself. But these coaches have been through it, and they know if they're helping develop and support with safety the kids, then that's number one. Number two is the elements they teach after that. But it's risky. Look at, you've got twists in the air, you're letting go, the girl's flying through the air. And so that decision, is this athlete ready? Kirsten might have been ready, but is that athlete ready? Those are difficult decisions, and you wonder when. So it was an interesting perspective, and I thought, I did pairs and I coached pairs. So I understand, I wonder if they're ready to try this element, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of the worry.
And it's interesting as we consider then those coaches and the group that we're mentioning. I can't off the top of my head know exactly the point in which those respective now coaches that we mention and that we see here became pair skaters, because often it is the case that there might be a more established single skater that then makes the transition, but now they're then working as a coach with the skater from perhaps an even earlier age in the discipline that they learn laterally. So it's maybe not even something that they can tap into from a memory of themselves. Like for me, I was an ice dancer when I was 19, so coaching ice dance to 10-year-olds is very different, and that would be the same, I'm sure, for the pair skaters now coaching a different generation.
But I do think the coaching community and the coaches are very supportive of each other. So I know these coaches sometimes will reach out, people that feel comfortable with a fellow coach, and they'll get, hey, well, this is what I did, this is what I learned. So there's a sharing of concepts and ideas and experiences.
And interestingly, we've got even some of the coaches texting us right now.
Really?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
So they can all.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Absolutely a good thing.
Okay,
110% a good thing.
No, we've gotten to talk about this. I've talked about this a lot of the broadcasts in Canada, but I've been a coach. I was a coach for 30 years. So, and I've been at the national level, international level. So I understand how difficult that job is. And every other sport focuses on the coaches. Oh, there's the coach of the football team or the hockey team or whatever, and there's a big deal about it, right? And we don't make a big deal of the coaches in skating. And they have these these young people's lives in their hands for many part of it, but they also teach 20 or 30 different skaters. So it is an extraordinarily difficult but rewarding profession. It's a risky profession because it's not like you get benefits. There's all the business side of that. We have talked about that on the Junior Grand Prix.
Well, it's interesting because, when interesting that I even chose to use the words in the last performance, I don't want to rave about the coaches, because to some extent when I think of other sports, I know that, sports coaches, perhaps more so certainly in professional sports where there's a lot of money involved, they can be demonized. And so I think I'm perhaps a little bit protective over the coaches in our sport. But you're right that they do need to be celebrated and praised, and they really do all that they possibly can to help the skater.
Oh, listen, the coaches go through an amazing, it doesn't matter what profession or what coach or what sport, there's been coaches that have, had troubles and crossed the line, and there have been coaches that are brilliant. But the fact is, the reality is that these coaches give up their life. It's not an easy living, that's for sure, but they have a passion for it. And particularly now, it's getting better. Coaches are better trained in regards to how to handle the kids as they grow up and what to do. And so that is improvements, and there'll be much more to come as well. But it's a very difficult profession, and I think they deserve credit for the work that they do with the skaters, but with the people.
Yeah. And I suppose...
But also the people.
I'm referencing other sports where there's, huge financial gain perhaps for coaches, but maybe you have to praise our coaches more because there's very often not huge financial gain.
No, it's not. You're not going to become like, oh, somebody just signed $2 million. That's not going to happen, right?
No way. And actually, the coaches that are standing ringside, the coaches that we're revering and celebrating now, I think for so many of them, and I don't know the ins and outs of every one, but I think for a lot of them, they will have, it's financially less lucrative for them to be here than if they were to not push the students to compete here.
No, because their business is back home with the kids that they teach all day long. They might go through 10, 15, 20 lessons or whatever, but here they're with one. So, yeah, but that's part of it. They love it. They're competitive coaches, and they do it. They help the kids. Okay. Well, so we take a look at Stephen Lee and Eva Cheung. Whoa, watch out. There we go. Okay. Very young team. They did extremely well in the pre-novice novice category in Canada, and here is their first. They've been out internationally at a novice competition, a dance novice, I think it was. Maybe they were in junior. I don't remember exactly, but here on the Junior Grand Prix, it's a different stage. It's a different level. Right?
I'd actually be really interested to just check in. I haven't looked at novice pairs international events. I don't believe that there are a huge number of them. I do believe that there are more, certainly in the dance discipline.
Okay, here we go. Group number 2. There are just 3 teams in this group. As we move along in event number 2, we have the women's free program a little bit later today. We're going to take a look at our next team representing Great Britain, Zara Wood and Alex Lapski.
Zara and Alex getting a reputation for being great performers and amidst their pair elements. This fun free skate to the Adams Family by Mark Schumann. Great Britain's Zara Wood and Alex Lapski.
Wystąpili przed Państwem reprezentanci Wielkiej Brytanii, Zara Wood and Alex Lapski.
Really difficult, obviously, to have had the mistake in what was a really fun and novel part of this great choreography. The connection between the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as buoyant as it could be.
But what a great fight back. What a great comeback.
I mean, amazing to get that throw triple Salchow. Just
amazing.
fantastic.
She looks so determined. I'm doing this right now. And
good there, Chris, just making sure he embraces both the team and just make sure that whilst that's not what they wanted, they are united as one. And they've got so much to offer together as a couple. They're both great characters. The desire to be everything that they want is, I think adversely impacted. I'm not sure everything that's gone on before, but there's just so much potential. And transitionally, there's so much to offer. Went for the split triple twist, which they didn't do in their short program. It's good.
And this lift here, it's difficult to get that nice position. The hold is quite high in the stomach, of course, and it's got good turns.
Work that
By
dorsal
Alex.
flexibility and
Yeah,
range.
it's a tough one. Here's the throw triple loop, and that was a little bit forward, and Spinney really did not get time to check out of that, so has to take the fall up in the group 5 reverse lift. This comes in level 2, so just getting 2 out of the 4 features here. Some work to do on turns on that one, and then I missed that. Unfortunately, that was just a really unfortunate fall. Let's just slow this down. This is a beautiful throw triple Salchow, straight in the air, arms wrapped in tight, so strong by Zara to push that free leg back to stabilize the landing. That was really good.
And even the finish, the exit out of it, and the finish, the complexity of the holds, there's so much intricacy and there's so much passion in them. But they just seem sad at the minute, and I hope that they're okay and that they can regroup from this.
These moments are so painful at the moment, like many things in life, and but through time, there's something to be learned, and you don't know what it is at the moment, and how it changes your view and how it changes your approach, perhaps.
And I mean, it's so hard in the moment to realize, how incredibly cool it is that you're having, so much support from your family and your coaches to compete and represent your nation. It's tough.
Yeah, 56.75 for the free program. That is 4th with a total competition score of 98.13. That'll put Zara and Alex currently into 3rd place. And disappointing, you can see on Zara's face. It's, part of the price of putting yourself out there in front of everyone. It doesn't matter whether it's this pair right now or anybody else. It's a tough sport.
Yeah.
Our next team represents Canada, Cheung and Lee.
And Eva and Steven embracing the experience, hoping for more joy in Gdansk.
Thank you.
Well, Mark, that was a great debut here in the free program for this young team. Eva Cheung and Stephen Lee of Canada. They're just a young team that's just come up from novice into junior and gaining experience. But they skated beautiful in the short and the free program.
Yeah, and I think for me, watching Eva Cheung and Stephen Lee from Canada, I hope and pray, my wish for them is that they will have this little connection, that little, the smile, the sharing, the high tens, the gorgeous.
And he pats her on the hand. That's just terrific. That's just great teamwork, great work by the coaches.
And it's easy to do after a skate like that. They've skated every element pretty solid for them.
Here's the throw, triple sacco. Yes, 2-foot landing's a good technique. Of course, coach back at home, Jacob Kreiderman, has done such a wonderful job with Kirsten Moore Towers. As we look at the Group 5 reverse lift here, really good turns by Stephen, good change of position. They looked comfortable and they looked confident. They didn't look in fear, that's for sure.
And this, I think, was so wonderfully pitched in time to the music. I was so appreciative of this, and also the line from Eva. Clarity of leg line. So few managed to be as engaged with their free leg as she did in the air.
Nice Group 3 lift there. And here's the double Lutzes. Both were solid for them. Certainly, as they grow and get stronger, it'll be a little bit more ice coverage. You see a stationary type of little lift near the end.
That's the spin feature in the pair combo. But we've seen teams already that have struggled and that have been sad in the kiss and cry. And I'm sure there'll be times when Eva and Stephen might not have as clean a skate and it might be, less joyful. But what's so important is that they still respect and appreciate each other, and that seems so evident. And
I know this team, and they're very, very supportive of each other. He's just wonderful with her, and she's charming with him. So, and of course, they've got a great coach. Great coaches with Jacob and Kirsten. Kirsten here is going to be a mom in a number of months.
And I mean, we've shouted out to the coaches, shout out to Kirsten, amazing skater, obviously doing a great job, but also she's committing when she's going to be a mom. But she's giving her time to these other children, and how grateful their parents must be.
Look at the score, 78.40, 5-5 in the kiss and cry. They're first in the free skate with a total competition score. That's nice. 120.63 as they take the lead. 2 clean programs by this young team. A great debut on the Junior Grand Prix. There is our next team, and they represent Italy. Marina Napolitano and Edoardo Comi.
And this team, so much to offer. They will be frustrated to find themselves in 13th place after the short program. They lost the death spiral. That wasn't counted by the tech panel. But they certainly have the potential, I believe, to move up in the rankings with this, their free skate, to Magnifica Anima. Italy's Irina Napolitano and Edoardo Comi. And this is like everything. I think it's so important that the team are showing the unity and that they are. And this is a team that's had challenges. And what I'm so grateful to see is that when they've had as much success as they have in the past, just off the podium at the World Juniors, and then to challenging seasons, to now see that even in the midst of the less than stellar experiences competitively like they've had here, they're still united, and it's just so good to see.
Well, the team doesn't survive without that. You will, if you're a team that does not support each other, you will not probably survive. It's going to become brutal at some point. Emotions just get out of hand, and you say things you don't really mean, and you have to trust that young man that's lifting you, and the young man has to trust the girl up top. So you've got to support one. You really do. Here we go. Here's the Salchows, the triple Salchows side by side. That looks like an under rotation. It is in the judging system. Here's the good 5 reverse lift. That's really nice. Really easy up. Switches the feet. Starts to turn. Look at that. So smooth in those turns. No snow whatsoever. Good ice coverage. This comes in. Group. Here's the throw triple Salchow. This is probably bigger than they normally do. So she checked out. She kept on rotating. Leans forward on the landing. There's the triple toe loops. That is, they're looking at it right now, so they don't really know what the final decision will be. The group 3 lift a little bit later in the program.
And here, as we see this group 3 lift, we're seeing the benefit of later in the season where Eduardo is powering through with more adrenaline in his legs to be able to push through that lift. As we saw the pair's combo spin, and what a glorious camel spin they had.
And that triple toe, both double toes actually were, no, all 3 jumps were under rotated.
And for this team, although they look more united now than in Bangkok, they had landed their triple Salchow, I believe. So from a points perspective, it was probably stronger when they competed earlier in the JGP.
Yeah.
But they've got so much. Actually, there's not one team that I've seen thus far in this event that I don't think has potential to go on to success. I think all the pairings appear, certainly physically, to be well matched.
Yeah, and this team really, you've got some beautiful quality. The lifting by Eduardo is amazing. The ice coverage, fantastic. The positions in the air is great. The throws look good mechanically on the takeoff. Just the fall on that one, for sure. And there's so many good aspects of this team. Now, they didn't have their best skate yet, but as you mentioned, they were in the top 5 of the World Championship last year, or was it
2024?
2024, yeah. So this is a very good team trying to find their groove again, right? And that happens over a long career, just the ebb and flow, if you will, up and down, and just trying to get back on track.
Yeah, but, a coach like Christina Mauri, and also they work with Monica Domenicali, they've been to Olympic Games. They know the long term, so they're protected and looked after.
Yes, absolutely. Long
Irina
term.
i Eduardo uzyskali w programie dowolnym
80.01. That is first in the free program with the
Irina
total
Napolitano
competition
and
score.
Eduardo Comi have earned in the free skating 80.01 points. Their total competition score is
Of 124.14, and that'll put them for the moment
which
at
brings
least
them currently
to
in the
first
first place.
And that is the end
Ladies
of group
and
number
gentlemen,
2. We have
we'll
3
now have
more
a
groups
short
to
break
come.
for ice
Now we have a nice
resurfacing.
resurfacing in
Continue
just a
with the
few moments.
competition
And Mark,
at
what do we have
1:58?
on the video
Szanowni
playback?
Państwo, nastąpi teraz
During this ice
krótka przerwa
resurface, you can
na
watch our
odświeżenie
must-watch moments from the
Konkurencję
first
będziemy
stage of the Junior
kontynuować
Grand
o
Prix in
godzinie
Riga,
13:50.
and then that will lead on to the pairs winners interview, where Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov won the first of their 2 titles this season on the Junior Grand Prix.
We're going to take a short break during the ice resurfacing, and we'll be back right after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Riga, Latvia, and Mark and Ted's must-watch moments from a great week of competition. Mark?
Yeah, opening up the event with the women's competition winner, Mei Akata from Japan. She was a bronze medalist 2 times last year on the Junior Grand Prix series and narrowly missed out on competing at the Junior Grand Prix final. This season, she was utterly golden, and she has said that she hopes to include a triple axel as the season progresses, and we look forward to seeing her continue to develop and improve even more.
And in pairs, Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov from Canada. What an outstanding performance they had at both the short program and the free program. Lots of injuries last season, but they're completely together this year, and they are a team to be reckoned with.
The must-watch moment from the ice dance competition has to go to the champions from Canada, Leila Villon and Alexander Brandis, who moved up from second place after the rhythm dance to take the title in a narrowly fought competition. Their free dance, the Max Richter piece, was spellbinding, and such brilliant musicality utterly justifies their 15 points and their first step, hopefully, on the way to the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan.
The must-watch moment in the men's event has to go to last year's World Junior Champion Ria Nakata skating to Gladiator and landing 2 quads to start the program. Absolutely brilliant and a great start to this season as he moves towards another Grand Prix final.
In other must-watch moments, I was so captivated by America's Sherry Zhang. She didn't make the podium at this event, but her short program was a little bit of an homage to a great world champion of the past, Michelle Kwan. She was a 5-time world champion from the United States of America, and Sherry subtly but beautifully gave homage to her movement, and I thought it was a really fitting tribute of a great champion.
And Mark, in my must-watch moment, I'm a little biased on this one. Grayson Long from Canada in the men's short program. He has grown and matured so much in his performance. Absolutely outstanding. His best ever performance and best score of his career.
Eva, Yanni, huge congratulations. Now, you've had success on the Junior Grand Prix previously, but obviously last season you've had some bad injuries that sidelined you from competition. Has that been what's motivated you to return even stronger than before?
Yeah, 100%. I think even the competitions that we were able to do last year, not all of them went the way we wanted. So also using that as motivation to come back. Yeah.
And I would say our training has been pretty similar from last year and this year. We've kind of just stayed on top of our injuries a bit more this year and been a little more like proactive with them. And yeah.
Well, we saw huge improvement, and both Ted and I were just remarking on how senior you looked in your delivery of everything that you performed this week in Riga. Is that a consideration? Are you considering to compete in seniors as well this year?
Yeah, we're doing senior domestically this year, so we're kind of using that as a stepping stone into senior.
And the long program, Sandra and David Wilson made it, and obviously they're amazing choreographers, and they really pushed us to kind of skate more into the ice and like more as a pair team instead of thinking about the elements. So we've been working really hard on that, and every competition we went to domestically, Sandra's like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like.
Oh, wow.
Fix it. Yeah, so it was awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because Sandra also gave me a rundown, and even the email showed the detail which this amazing woman obviously gives, and she did mention that you are using a lift by the great Olympic champions Katerina Gordeva and Sergei Grinkov, and is that, Olympic gold? Is that a goal that you've got for the future to emulate the success of those that you're copying now?
Yeah, of
I
course.
think so, yeah.
I think it is for everyone.
Yeah,
but
that's everyone's
I think
goal.
really just like looking up to how they're skating and stuff. I mean, they're such amazing skaters, so just trying to replicate that.
So before your Olympic gold and before senior competition, when will we see you next on the Junior Grand Prix?
We're going to be in Turkey next week, so back-to-back competitions. We're excited, feel ready. Obviously, this competition was a good confidence boost, so
And Coach Kevin and Sandra will definitely be giving you some more for next week, so hopefully it'll be even better. So good luck, guys.
Thank you.
ATS for 6-minute warm-up. From United States of America, Milada Kovar and McPike. From Czechia, Elżbieta Kviderova and Klement. From France, Roman Telemaque and Coulon. From Hungary, Wilberforce and Berei.
Welcome back to Gdansk for the final 3 groups of the pairs competition, where medals will be decided and confirmation of the
Yes.
Junior Grand Prix finalists.
This will be the first day that we will know a category, the 6 who qualify for the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya in early December, which both you and I will be there. We'll be covering both the junior and senior. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have that confirmation that we will definitively be covering the junior and the senior Grand Prix final, and that will be very, very exciting.
Yeah, looking forward to that, that's for sure. All the Japanese events are run so efficiently and so smoothly. Have you been to Japan?
I choreographed in Japan for a couple of weeks. I spent a couple of weeks in Fukuoka and I have some fun experiences from being in Japan choreographing for a fortnight and trying to explain what veganism was. That was not always successful. And I did World Championship commentary of Saitama.
Yeah.
But I think that when we're commentating, we can say that we were in the country.
Yes.
Did we experience the country? No.
No.
Not so much. I hear lots of lovely things about Gdansk, the old town of Gdansk, and I'm very happy to report that the skaters all seem to be embracing Sopot, Gdansk, and Poland whilst they're here competing at the Solidarity Cup.
It's a beautiful place, that's for sure. Okay, do we have any questions there, Mark?
Yes, let's head over to the questions that have come in, and for those we are very grateful. Just checking in to see what has been said through. Oh, this is a wonderful question. So the question comes from @IceSkateLexi. If you could, which skaters would you like to bring together for a veterans comp?
A veterans comp.
How
Okay, wait a second.
amazing.
But which? Okay, so it doesn't matter what discipline.
So well, let's take pairs. So a veterans comp in pairs. Well, we'd say Natalia Mishkatinak. She's on screen. She is the 1992 Olympic champion with Artur Dmitriev. She can come. She's obviously still on the ice, working away. And I would then... Who else would we add to this? Veterans comp. I love the concept of it.
Zhao and Jen.
Yeah. Last 2 weeks ago, we saw Pang and Tong, the Chinese team.
Oh, I saw them in
Beijing.
yeah.
They look like they are in great shape, ready to go out and bust out some free programs. And then, you know who could, I'm still sure, legendary pairs coach, Tamara Masbina, who is, I think, in her 80s now. She probably would still be quite happy to set that woman a challenge. I'm pretty sure she would accept the challenge. She was doing overhead lifts in her 70s.
Okay, your delirium has, moved from later in the day to earlier in the day.
A threshold for serious
exactly.
conversation.
Yeah.
And then I would... Who else would I add?
Oh, it's a Shui.
Sween Han. Well, we might not have to wait too long to see that. We'll see.
Yeah.
It was very interesting that when we were in Beijing, there were some local skaters.
I would do Bereshtai and Sigurd.
I was going to say Anton Sigurdsson and Elena Bereshtai. Interestingly, when we were in Beijing, there were some skaters that had come to watch the Skates to Milano Olympic qualifying competition, and they'd spotted Ted and I, and they'd asked for a photo, which was all very lovely. And we made polite chit-chat, and they explained that they skate recreationally, and Kong Han was one of their coaches, who is the Olympic champion, and there's rumour that they would return. And I said, oh, and how's it going? Is your coach still? He said, oh, he's not coaching us presently. And I think the inference was that he was busy training. So we wish them all the best. We do not know whether or not they will definitively continue, but it's
it
exciting
won't be
to
long
hear.
before we'll find out, I would think.
Yes, as we head ever closer towards the Senior Grand Prix Series, which has a different order this year from the conventional Skate America, Skate Canada. The Grand Prix de France in Angers will be the leading, or the initial event. And interestingly, on the back of the discussion of French skating, I believe that there's a Challenger Series event currently taking place in France.
Let's check out the results.
Yes, and I hear that Adam Xiao Him-Fa has just delivered a big short program with a clean skate, a quad lutz, and a quad toe triple toe, and a 97.62 points
Nice.
event. So kudos to him as we get excited considering the main contenders for Olympic assignments.
It won't be long before the Senior Grand Prix starts. Of course, we have one more week on the junior back down in Abu Dhabi. And then I believe the next week right away, it starts in Angers.
Yeah, and actually questions have come in about which events we will be covering. I've been asked to cover the event in Finland and the NHK.
And I will be doing Skate America.
The others we don't know.
Skate Canada within Canada. So if you want to hear our broadcast, and of course we've got Kristen Moore Towers will be joining me, Kevin Reynolds and Caitlin Weaver for coverage of that, and you can access that through skatecanada.ca website.
Other questions that have come in that I think is a really interesting one, specific to the discipline that we're watching. Should pairs side-by-side jumps be scored separately? And that was a discussion point that we had in recent events.
Because if one takes a fall, they both take that reduction. So, but in dance, if one lands it and one falls, they just take the one fall.
Yeah, there's only an impact, or the level is only impacted.
Yeah. I kind of think pairs should go that way. That's my personal opinion.
Well done, nice answers.
Our first team representing the United States of America, Milada Kovar and Ehrhard McPike.
And Milada and Jared 12th after the short program. And they will be performing to the brilliant music by Elton John with a Rocket Man melody for their free skate. Well, there was certainly some great satisfaction and joy from Milada Kovar. She hugged her partner, Ehrhard McPike, as somebody proudly waves ringside. And I think Milada looking up to those people with a real intention. Hopefully some family members that have made the travel to Poland to support her and her partner. And so happy to see that. I'm assuming and guessing that perhaps the joy is because of the triple toe. When they competed at the Robin Cousins Cup recently, they did double toes. Success with doing triple toe.
As we see,
something's joyful there.
and we see there's not a lot of international experience here. Just
that Robin Cousins
just
Cup.
the Robin Cousins Cup. So, this is a pretty new team. And just gaining experience and maybe those few successes, and perhaps the score, we'll see. We'll find out. They'll be thrilled with it. There's that twist that opens up with a double twist, level 2, so missing 2 features, triple toe loops, and just has to step out. And then there's the group 5 reverse lift coming up. Good flow, good turn, straight down the ice, and just a slight curving around the end of the rink. That was really good lift. And that is level 4 with a plus GOE. So well done there. There's the throw double Salchow. And that is, I can see that with Natalia Mishkatunia. This is the way she used to lift her free leg up.
Big extension.
But if you take a look at that throw, it'll be the same way as she did it when she was young.
Well, good person to copy. Oh, wow. And I think actually the fact that she's got one of the crowns, that is a real coup for Milada. And she looks so joyful. They had a 77.49 when they competed in the free skate at that Robin Cousins Cup, en route to their silver medal at that event. So, but I don't think the scores matter for this team based on the way that they're reacting to the performance.
I mean, it does if the numbers goes up. They're gonna it'll matter. But if the number goes down, it just sort of stays the same. It's like gaining experience. Just get out there and gain this experience, because you can learn to skate really well in practice, but you can't learn to compete in practice. You have to get out and compete.
And the flower wreath has a note on it as well.
She's got a personality.
She has more personality now. She can lean into that in the presentation component score when she's next competing. And they train with Natalia and Drew Meekins in Colorado Springs, and there are lots and lots of really great teams there. And so they have a wonderful environment from which they can develop and grow alongside others, experiencing the same journey.
Well, let's take a look at the free program scores here for Milada and Jared. As they finish now their experience here in Gdansk. 75.68, that is third in the free program. And they will have a total competition score of 121.66, putting them, at least for the moment, into second place. There's a look at your leaderboard, top 5 teams so far. There is our next team representing Czechia. Zbeta Kviderova and Klement.
And big difference in the energy for this there. Free skate comparison to the short program. Tom Waddell, the singer, the track, Another Love.
My tears
Czechia's Elżbieta Kviderova and Jędrzej Klement sharing a hug, and you can see just at the end of the performance how unbelievably taxing that free skate is. Gasping and clutching for oxygen as they concluded the performance.
They started out so well, and it started to unravel a little bit partway through.
Yeah, the team with so much potential, both with their individual prowess and the jumping passes.
Yeah.
And the strength as a team, but this is a score that will so readily escalate with more run-throughs and more competitive experience there.
Oh, totally. I wouldn't. This team is well on their way, no question, as to building something special. But you've got to build the house. It's going to take a lot of work. Let's take a look at some of the elements in this program. Here's the twist. No split, double twist in at level 3. So just missing one of the features, the double axel. Man, that was so sweet because took off at the same time, landed at the same time, double axel into single axel. Really good synchronization and great technique.
Yeah.
Here's the throw, triple sock out. Huge lean. I don't know how she got her feet down. She did. She had to land on essentially on 2 feet. There's the group 5 reverse lift. Nice enough. Something happens here on the dismount. He brings it down just to make sure he's safe. Right, and right there comes down on the back of his head a little bit. That's kind of okay. It worked out.
This is surprising, the second death spiral that's struggled in this event, but look at the way in which Jędrzej was prioritizing Elżbieta there and avoiding the fall.
Yeah, totally. It's a great move. And here's the group 4 lift. And there, that you can see his arm, as soon as they changed position, his right arm started to break, to bend, and that forced the lift to come down, as we see it double flip a little bit later in the program.
And to be honest, actually, it was some of their easier elements that perhaps caused them the most problems on the tech score, and the lack of death spiral, which ordinarily, until this event, would be a more fail-safe element.
Yeah.
That's dependent upon the level that they achieved, circa around 4 points. So had they achieved that, an element that they would be more guaranteed to normally achieve, then Elżbieta and Jędrzej would be en route to a new ISU personal best.
Yeah, and that group 3 lift at the end with hands on the hips, and you know, it just, once that starts, once you break your elbow, the lift is done. And that came down near the end, just comes into level 1 with a minus GOE. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 6.5 to 7 points lost on the GOE, the quality. But they are a quality team,
no,
not
definitely.
necessarily tonight.
Well done to Coach Peter Bidar also.
73.93 for the free program. That is 4th. The total competition score of 121.84, and that will put them, for the moment at least, into 2nd place. And there is our next team. They represent France, Romain Telemaque and Coulon.
And the team invested in the concept of their choreography, already performing before they assume their start position as they skate to The Chosen One, Spirits, and I Wanna Dance, assuming their unique and creative start position. Romain Telemaque and Lucas Coulon from France. And this, a storyline around the curse of Nefertiti, and they had a specially arranged soundtrack by Cedric Tour. And they obviously skaters that so enjoy the creativity of their sport, and I love the start, love the end.
You know, again, it sort of supports a little bit of my theory. I would love to know the stories. You tell us after. I thought, oh, I get it. It's really well done.
Yeah.
If I didn't know, I'm going, what is this, right? So I really like that research that you're doing. It's great and adds value to the viewer what they're watching.
And then I suppose in turn, I'm just grateful that Romain's mum and coach Emily would share that, and that we have people like Louis Tarrant, the choreographer, who will have creativity. Look at her face, giving it diva vibes. Good on her. Queen Nefertiti in action in a pairs event.
And there's the double twist at the top of the program, level 3, so missing one feature. Throw triple flip here. Let's take a look. Gets out of the way, passes her through. Great height, but does not check out of that jump early enough to get the free leg back, so has to take the fall. There's the group 3 lift. This is beautiful, fantastic. Starts that direction. Look, watch, she grabs her blade. She's sitting on one hand, and then the difficult dismount here with the hands behind the back. Level 4, obviously with a plus GOE. Throw triple sock out. That was a beauty, right on top of that running edges, and there is the last pose. It's very cool. Yeah, very, very cool.
I don't remember that from their first
outside. Yeah.
I know that they struggled, and I mentioned in the short program that they felt there was a lot of pressure on them when they competed again this first start of the new season, but looking much more joyful here in the Kiss and Cry.
You know, the interesting thing is when we always mention the word pressure. Well, define it a little bit. You know, what is that pressure, and where does it come from, and who can do anything about it, right? So, you know, because the great sports psychologists talk about that and say, well, first of all, it's manufactured in your head.
Yes.
Through your thought of expectations of others. They just want you to be happy, whatever. And there are some people, obviously, in federations as well, at Olympics, want and like to have a medal. So there is pressure there. But how do you deal with it? Because in the end of the day, no matter what happens, you're going to go home and be able to eat and go back to school and do the things.
And conversely,
just skating.
Yeah, conversely, often when you prioritize your enjoyment, it does tend to lead towards better skating.
Yeah.
Provided you're hustling and working hard.
Yeah, you bet. Season's best, 85.50, as Lucas went, oh, okay, that's pretty good. That's first in the free program with a total competition score of, wait for it, and there it is, 135.02 as they take the lead in the Paris free program with one more team in this group to come and 8 more following that.
Oh, somebody's on the phone. Maybe it's the mom on the phone to talk about it.
Could be. There is our next team. They had a pretty good skate in the short program. Lily Wilberforce and Moses Joseph Berei.
Yes, this team coming in 9th place following their short program. Their season's best, just 80 points. They need a new season's best if they are to maintain their lead above the others thus far in the competition. Skating to Spring Wind by Havasi. Hungary's Lily Wilberforce and Moses Joseph Berei, and I loved how Lily, in their final position, waited for the musicality to just do the little head nod to button the end of their program.
Exactly, sitting on his shoulder, kind of on an angle, hanging on. Difficult and sort of innovative ending.
And this skate perhaps not as clean as the team had when they competed in Ankara, but pairs element strong. Just the side-by-side jumping passes, of course, will be the challenge.
It's a side-by-side jumping pass plus the throws. So that, would need to be rectified. And you just have to find a way. It's hard. The woman has to find a way when to check out.
You've got brilliant coaches, as we've mentioned already. Alison Perkis, Severin Keeper. Everybody will be doing all they can as we see that great split triple twist. Good elevation. And actually, sort of biomechanically, the movement patterns are good. It's just the explosiveness.
Yeah.
And everybody in the team far more well versed to, give the information necessary for that to happen. As we see one of the two required lifts.
Just a little shaky, leaving the hand hold, and then a hand on the hip, and that looks pretty good. And a difficult dismount, and that is the group 5 axle lift, level 4. Here's the throw, triple Salchow. Let's see where that is.
I wondered if it would have.
It's cleaning the system. They've just reviewed it. There's the interesting entry into the group 4 lift, level 4 at the end of the program. Loss of balance right there, but he hangs on to so well. Or maybe it's not. It just might be the technique of his turning, because you can see him push the right leg out and lean a bit forward. It could be his turning technique. There's the double Lutz at the end of the program.
And just thinking, Ted, for Lily, there's so many brilliant pairs women, and she's a great pairs woman that I can think of in the history of the sport who have perhaps struggled with some of the side-by-side jumping passes. Even I think Sui and Han, the Olympic champion, struggled a bit with the second triple. And I think what's the challenge for many of the skaters is when you're in the competitive season, or when you've got trained habits, learned habits that are ingrained in your biomechanics and in your body patterns, it's hard to cut that and restart. And for Lily, it's just now, what do I need to do? What am I going to conscientiously really give to find a side-by-side triple?
I think for Lily, it's less about the technique. The timing of the technique looks okay, but the explosiveness, you mentioned that, isn't there. So that's a strength issue. And that's something that has to be done a lot of work off ice. I don't know, the coaches probably, got this in hand and doing all they can, for sure. If you take a look at the score, season's best, 83.05 for the free program. That is second. The total competition score
They're waiting.
Yeah, 132.57, and that'll put Lily and Moses into second place. Our next group of skaters, group number 4, taking to the ice as we start to wind down on this medal event here today. And the next two groups are going to be so interesting, particularly the last group. Battle for those points and the battle for podium.
Oh my goodness, I've just opened a wonderful list of questions that have come through.
How do you know it's wonderful? You haven't read them all.
Well, the first one was there were 4. Oh, and oh my goodness, I should have not got too excited when I read the first one because there are more that I can't answer. Anyway, okay, Ted. So great questions coming in. Thank you to Mike Burgess.
One of them.
In pairs throws, who has the most control over the throw? For example, when it goes wrong, is it the thrower's fault, or does the throwee have equal chance at being at fault?
No, it would pretty equal, because the man has to make sure he gets himself out of her way as he passes her through on a pattern that's consistent with the entry curve, with the entry pattern. And so it can go bad if you hang on too long and that all of a sudden that throw hooks around the corner. That's going to be disastrous. Or if you let it go in the wrong direction. So the man's throw it doesn't look very exciting. It doesn't look very pretty, but it is absolutely critical to helping the woman guide her up into the air. And then of course her positioning in the air. And most importantly, knowing how and when to check out. So when you take a look at the best throwers in the world, mostly the Chinese teams, they know exactly when to open that free leg up, lift it up, and open their arms up and kick it back as they hit the ice. Because if you're slow with that height of that throw and the speed on the landing, if you're just a fraction of a second slow, you're going to go down. So, I mean, everybody has a responsibility there. There's no one more than the other. They work as a team.
And it's interesting because, we reference how incredibly strong-minded and bodily physical the women are in this event. And it's so risky. However, I remember playing around, you see sometimes I've seen throw triple axels. I think I saw it from Johnny Weir maybe. But, occasionally you'll see things posted on social media where you'll see a man throw a man and it's more of an assist than a throw. I remember being thrown in a double salcho, and it was the most fun, crazy thing to happen. So whilst I often worry about the women who are thrown in the throws, I'm sure that for them the feeling of landing a quality throw with the acceleration
it's a thrill.
Must be exorbitantly exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's adrenaline rush. Hey, listen, the women that are in pair skating are there for a reason, because they get a thrill in the lift up above, gliding, seeing the audience as they're gliding over the ice, and that throw and that landing, as you mentioned. We'll watch a throw right here. Oh, almost a collision. And that running edge, I mean, that's got to be a high.
Oh, it must be, yeah. And also equally, though, in terms of the physicality, I remember that throw and think, gosh, I need to land on 2 feet here because there's so much
force.
And I also remember hearing some studies about the amount of force applied to the right landing leg, if it is, for most it is the right leg that's the landing leg, and they are just unbelievable, the amount of forces applied to the skater's body, and they're often very small human beings, but yet they are made of iron, malleable iron.
It's an amazing discipline that attracts unique and special people. I guess everyone is.
And there are other questions. One of the ones which is really interesting: could the skaters who struggle to get ice time use rollerblades for training?
Really good question. And I think they do to a certain point, not so much on the difficult elements and whatnot, but certainly getting the feel of the skating and the edges. And I think we've seen some pretty incredible things on the rollerblades. So I've seen it, but I don't think I've seen it at what would you define as a high level? They're not going to run their program probably with rollerblades.
Well, it's interesting. I know that during the time when COVID affected the globe, that there were quite a lot of skaters, certainly in the UK, that were buying off-ice blades and off-ice skates and experiencing that, and we all thought it was really highly entertaining to find ourselves trying to jump. I remember trying to do double flips and rollerblades, but then I've been exposed to seeing some of the roller skating community and some of the amazing feats that they achieve. And so if you look at online, there are quads and there are different types of off-ice skates, some inline skates, and they do incredible things, triple jumping. But also then I've seen, there's a discipline that I've seen recently where I think it's quad skates, it might be inlines, and they have cones out.
Yes.
And they do
weave.
Slaloming. It is mind-blowingly brilliant. And sometimes I think, we, certainly for me, and I'm sure you, Ted, too, we have spent our whole life in the figure skating ether and universe, and it's not always that you're made aware of what else is outside. When I saw things like I've seen with the slaloming on the front roller, it again reshapes my perspective of what is possible, because I think pair skaters are mind-blowingly brilliant because I didn't do it.
And I think that just those things that are happening around the world is good for us to see while people contemplate how we can change our sport and engage more of an audience and keep the basis of the sport for sure. So that's kind of cool. So those are good points and good questions, and open ideas.
I don't know if I can bring myself.
Oh boy, you're
to
laughing
ask.
at this one.
It's a funny question because this was also the question. I arrived at the airport and my luggage hadn't arrived, so I was a little bit late to come through, and the wonderful organising committee have a bus transfer shuttle bus for all of the officials and the skaters to take them to the hotel. And because I was delayed, some of the judges were looking up, helping the organising committee to find a picture of me to show them so that when I arrived they could find the person. And when you Google me, there's some pictures from my dancing and ice days.
Yes,
and so
the open shirt one.
That is the one. And so the question is, do I get embarrassed or do I think, look at me? And we're talking about skaters now that are going out there in an extroverted capacity to be judged. there is an element of all of us being a little extroverted and a little proud of what we achieve, and certainly being very self-conscious because we're judged.
So is the answer yes or no?
As I get older, I think certainly more self-conscious.
Okay, that was not an easy answer, for God's sakes. Okay, our next team.
And so to the second of the Italian teams competing in Gdansk in the pairs event, Polina, Polman and Gabriele Renoldi. They'll be delighted to find themselves in this position, the leading Italian team.
And they will skate the free program to Can't Pretend by Tom Odell.
Italy's Polina Polman and Gabriele Renoldi complete a free skate, and although not perfect, and there is so much more to come from Polina and Gabriele, this a marked improvement upon the difficult free skate that they had in Ankara when they had 3 falls. 1 fall on the third triple salto on this occasion. That's certainly a step forward for the Italians.
You can see the qualities of the base skating skills and pair skills as well, and the singles. It doesn't always work, and if you evaluate the team where they're at based on a couple of mistakes, that is a mistake in doing that. This team made some mistakes, no question, but it's a pretty strong team with good basics.
And just looking emotionally drained and exhausted because they will have had so much build up to this to try to redeem themselves from that really challenging skate in Turkey 8.
Here's a look at the twist. Triple twist comes in at a level 2, so missing 2 of the features there. And here is the triple salchows. This was amazing work. A little bit off time, but they get it done, and then they push up to a single axle, and then up to another single axle.
Yeah, Gabriel working hard to
quite
recover.
far apart. There's a group 5 axle lift. With one hand, she grabs the blade, feature, change position, change a hold, and that comes in level 4. Throw triple salchow, big lean with with a landing forward, so that's a downgrade plus the fall.
But you can see the reaction, and it just shows, you know, this is better, but they want to showcase all that they are capable of.
Well, you can see if they put it all together, if it all comes together, that's going to be a really strong performance.
Yeah. And this is where we need a mic for them to be able to give the shout out to all those who they want to shout out to.
The
at
mic
home.
there, and I love always listening to their conversation and
Yes.
their
Analysis.
and their shout outs.
And just, you know, for context, that nightmare skate that they had in Ankara had 59.96. This will be immeasurably better, but it might be interesting to see as Polina and Gabriela continue in this season how big a score differentiation you could see a team here could have.
They can go up 30 points.
Yeah.
You know, 25, 30 points from that other skate, that's for sure.
And I think there's potentially, you know, another 10 to 15 in the bank already.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the scores for Polina and Gabriel. Season's best, 78.41. That is 4th in the free program. So you can see them sort of nodding just a little bit. The total competition score of 128.05. That'll put them for the moment at least into 3rd place. Skills there, absolutely. Qualities there, absolutely. Just have to put it all together on the day, and that is always the challenge for everyone. There is our next team representing Germany, and Fisa Sevasianova and Gneding.
And this team started skating together in just February. They were offering and showcasing some beautiful movement, and Fisa really elegant in her stylization. And then Fisa and Lukasz will skate to Goodbye Song and stand up.
When that Pharaoh chariot comes, I'm gonna leave you. I'm bound for the promised land. I'm gonna leave you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you. Farewell, farewell. But I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, farewell. I'll meet you in the morning. Bound for promised land on the other side of Jordan.
Germany's Anfisa Sevasianova and Lacasse Gneding. And you can see the frustration there because that wasn't the skate that they were hoping for. But first of all, I love the music track. Cynthia Eriva was saying to you what a wonderful song it is, and I'm sure this will be a powerful piece when it has a clean skate. But I think I mentioned in the short program, Anfisa hasn't competed in 5 years just for various different reasons, and so not a lot can really be expected.
No, yeah, exactly.
In the pressure of competition, but a lot can be evident, and what is evident is their
It'd
potential.
be interesting to see what she thinks of, coming back. What does it feel like now? What is more difficult than you thought it was, and what's a little easier than you thought it was? You come back for a reason, and then you maybe realize, wow, this is really hard.
Yeah. And as you look back at the performance, great to have Ruben Blamar alongside them.
Great split. Nice clean catch. That's a level 4. All 4 features achieved, plus GOE, 4.13 points off that one element. Relatively simple, but so well done. There's the double axles, up into single axle, and to another one sequence, earning another 6 points. Here's the group 5 reverse lift. This is in level 4. He has great turns. Look at the speed and flow across the ice. Losing a little bit there, perhaps.
It's funny, you always look at the men's feet, I always look at the women's extension.
Well, good, we got it covered. So that's the thing. The back, forward inside death bar, pardon me, that's a level 3. So missing one feature on that, gathering 4 points as well. And the throw triple, let's see what happens, or double, pardon me, slips off the back, but manages to stay on her feet. That is so good.
It's interesting, is it fatigue, was it exhaustion, is it competition legs that haven't been
I think that was
experienced?
just weird. I think that was just sloppy weight came too far back on the blade. And there's the group 3 lift at the end of the program. Let's just speed that up. That's a level 3. Pardon me, that is a level 4.
Talking about extension, that was an extreme range of flexibility.
Yeah.
Anfisa has.
Did I take this whole element?
I think you did. Well, I'm going to shout out to the coach behind them, Ruben, who his last time really in the competitive environment was when he competed at the World Championships in Tokyo, and he was just explaining how happy he is to be back. And we've mentioned, so many of the coaches that are here who have competed with each other in previous years, and good to see Ruben there just kind of smirking at the mistake that happened at the end of the pair combo spin. He's been there, he's done that, he knows that wasn't what they wanted, but can put it into context.
Those things happen. 84.89 for the free program. That is second so far in the competition. With a total competition score of... I gotta start reading this slower. With 135.31 for the competition, that'll put them currently in the first place. And they look pretty happy with that. Good team. And as we mentioned, it's not an excuse, it's reality. They're early in the season. And there is our next team. They represent France. Louise Ehrhard and Matthias Pellegris.
And Louise and Matthias explained they've been working on the elements that caused the problems, and they're happy to skate at their last Junior Grand Prix before moving and competing in the senior ranks. Skating to Memoirs of a Geisha soundtrack. One of the best things about the conclusion of that program for Louise Ehrhard and Mathilde Pellegris was Lola Esprat in the back of shot, the coach celebrating joyfully and excitedly as her students complete that program. And the skate was good. For me, some of the highlights were the choreography. The choreographer listed as Pierre-Louis Bouquet, who I think is just brilliant and an untapped great choreographer. And some really unique movement, and I like the choreo sequence, which nearly concluded the program.
Yeah, this team really looked a lot. I mean, not that they ever look weak, but they look a lot stronger in this free program
than Bangkok.
Yeah,
sure.
It gives them a lot of time to showcase their strengths, and you can see big, strong high fives coming off the ice. So, coach is happy, skaters are happy as well.
And another coach from that same generation that competed around the same time as so many of the other coaches. It's like a reunion for the coaching staff here.
Yep. And I think we might see a new leader after the scores come up. We'll find out just a little bit. There's the throw, touchdown with a free leg, and this group 3 lift, hand to hip. This is fantastic. So difficult position. She's essentially laying down on his hand right here on his hands. It must be weird to look up at the ceiling.
Interesting, the grade of execution assigned to that for Louise and Mati higher than that of anybody that we've seen thus far, so rewarded by the panel.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because Lola Esprat, the coach, is so wonderfully, effusive in her praise, I'm excited that they're probably going to see her personal best. It's one of my favorite games to see when people react to these scores.
It is, and right now,
come on, let's see.
That monkey should leave the lap.
Oh, that's Marcello, the monkey that goes with all the Parisian pair teams. I should have given him a shout out.
Yes, well, you just did. Season's best, 92.22. That is a first in the free program for Louise and Matthias, with a total competition score that's coming up in just a moment. That's great. The reaction was terrific as well. 143.14 as they take over the lead with one team to go in group number 4. All comes together here on the this Junior Grand Prix here in Gdansk.
And now the next team, Yu Xuan Chen and Yin Bo Dong. This team find themselves in 5th place after the short program. However, they are less than a point behind the bronze medalists, and they could be vying for contention. And this morning in practice, so a very impressive triple flip, double axel sequence, which will be the first element for Chen and Dong as they skate to Romeo and Juliet. it's kind of mind-blowing that Yuxuan Chen and Yin Bodong have just delivered what they have delivered based on the fact that they teamed up in April. Previously single skaters, which makes sense when we see the big value elements that they have with the 2 triple jumps, the first of 2 teams to give 2 triple jumps as their side-by-side elements. But not just that, packaged so beautifully, choreographed by Benoit Richaud, and just amazing in this
and they're very smart with keeping the program where they need to simple in regards to the pair elements, that the throws and things like that are, and then using the strengths where they need, because when this team has all the elements, all the difficult elements, plus their sensitivity to music, which we're beginning to see mature, this is going to be a very powerful team.
And now they really put themselves in contention as Coach Yang Ding greets them off the ice for the final. Last time when they competed, they didn't get the death spiral called. Let's look at this triple flip.
And that is on the quarter with the double axles here on the under rotated and the double axle here downgraded.
Well, interesting, because when they competed last time, the second double axle was also downgraded, so that's a consistency.
And there's the triple twist that is in a level 3, so missing 1 feature, but it's a 1.14 plus for the GOE for the quality. Beautiful triple toes a little bit later in the program. And here's the group 4 left near the end of the program. Change of position, change of hold, great turns in the dismount level 4. Right at the end of the program here.
And here, this is a feature for the pairs combo spin, but the way in which Yin Bodong maintained the speed throughout that, so impressive. Because pairs combo spin wasn't a part of their repertoire a year ago. Yeah, great work. And shout out to Yang Ding as well for the way in which she is generating this next level, next generation of Chinese pair teams.
Yeah, very purposely. They got the single skills already. They come and learn some of the pair skills. They put them out for competition, then they learn the rest and increase the difficulty in time. So they have a strategy and it's working. Season's best, 98.88. That is first in the free program. They sit up straight and applaud with a total competition score. And this will be the one to beat now of 152.77. They take the lead with 4 teams to come. And they are thrilled. They earned it, so they should be. Wow. That was great.
That kind of score would have medaled at previous pair events. Will it medal?
Well, we've got some contenders that are going to try to defend their current position as we take a look at the standings after 4 groups. There it is. We're going to take a break during the ice resurfacing and come back with the final 4 teams. And after this, we will know who will qualify for the Junior Grand Prix final. Mark, what have you got on the video playback?
During this ice resurface, stay tuned to see our figure skating basics series and information on the judging panel. And then to the winners in Bangkok of the pairs event, Rui Guo and Yiwen Zhang.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Figure Skating Basics. We're going to talk about the technical element scores and
the program component scores. But first of all, the tech element score.
Well, the technical panel is up a little higher than the judging panel. They will identify what the element is and how difficult it is. What about the judges?
The judges will then boost or subtract from that technical element score with the grade of execution. Now, some examples of the elements that the judges in the tech panel will be looking at. In single skating, we'd have jumps, spins, step sequences.
And at ice dance?
We would have lifts, twizzles, steps, spin, and choreographic elements.
And in pairs, which is different from the ice dance, you'll see the big lifts, the throws across the ice, the death spirals, and some single elements, some side-by-side jumps and spins as well.
And so the technical element score will come up first on the screen on the most left-hand side, and then the judges down here at rinkside analyze the program component score.
Well, that's figure skating scoring 101.
We hope you've enjoyed this understanding the scoring. Make sure that you tune in for the next episode of Figure Skating Basics.
Here in Bangkok with the pairs champions Ri Guo and Yiwen Zhang from China. What a wonderful performance. I wanted to ask you, how you felt about today's overall performance for you.
我觉得我们今天的表现比之前要好很多。我觉得这次的话，总体来说是有进步的。
Now there's a long time between now and the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya in December. What is it that you feel that you will work on and improve between now and the Junior Grand Prix final?
我们主要提高的是单跳，然后还有碾转、抛跳这些成功率嘛，争取在总决赛的时候，我们能带给大家更好的一个结果，把我们的动作做得更完美、更好。
Well, you're already a wonderful para team. Congratulations on the silver medal and now the gold medal. And we look forward to seeing you in Nagoya in the Junior Grand Prix final. Congratulations, the champions here in Bangkok.
The following skaters might now take the ice for a 6 minutes warm-up. From Canada, Julia Quattrochi et Cheung Lacasse. From United States of America, Naomi Williams, Lachlan Lewer. From Canada, Jasmine Desrochers, and Thrasher. From China, Yuxiang Zhang, Zhang Feng.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final group in the Paris Free program. Mark, we were a little late.
We were late because we have been treated. We have been sent some gifts. Oh, this one's for you. Oh, Polish gifts. So we have been very, very well treated. We have had Polish liqueur given to us, and then we've had
Mark, you can't tell everything on air. What are you going to learn?
Keeping it real, man. Keeping it real. That's so kind, though. We have been
very kind. Very good.
Very, very fortunate. Very well looked after in Poland. But we didn't want to be rude, so we had to give time of day to the people that gave us the gifts.
For sure. Let's focus now. We've got the final four. Let's see what happens here. Potoki and Lacasse, they'll skate first from Canada, and they are in somewhat of a close position for a shot at the Junior Grand Prix final, but they don't want to chop another spot.
Well, they are in 9th place in the current standings, having just participated in one event. So a reminder that 6 teams will go through, but within this event we have so many of those that are competing for the coveted 6 spots. So just to confirm, we have Quattrochi Lacasse, 9th in the current standings. Naomi Williams, Lachlan Lewer, they're 8th in the current standings. Jasmine Desrochers and Thrasher are within the top 6 already, following the silver medal that they achieved when they were competing in Bangkok. And then...
But they're second.
Chen
I think the Desrochers and Thrasher are second in the standings, right?
No, the standing currently they're 6th.
Oh, they're 6th in the standing.
In the ISU Junior Grand Prix standing, so for the final. So currently, so we've got 5th, 6th, 8th and 9th in the current standings competing in this group. So of those teams, 2 of them find themselves in the top 6 currently, but we have to kind of consider the ramifications. So Regan Moss and Jakub Gabli from the United States of America, Sofia Jarmok and Luke Witkowski, also from the United States of America. They're currently in 3rd and 4th place on the standings. They are within those 6 spots for the final because they have competed twice. Of course, though, what happens now will likely dislodge them. Yeah. So we wait to see.
Yeah, there are teams back home going, okay, I don't know, I might or might not be going to Nagoya.
And so that's
depending on what happens in these next 4 skaters.
And that is a really interesting discussion point, because I know for many athletes, when they're watching a figure skating event, of course they want the best for their friends or for their training mates or for their country mates. However, we're all competitors, and sometimes I used to find that incredibly difficult when I was younger, to want success for others, but to want success for myself. So if I'd finished competing, I'd be like, oh, I want a medal, but I don't want you to fall over. I'd just like me to get
It's a
better.
conflict.
It's a real mental conflict.
It's not about you wanting it. It's just about that's the reality. If you've done your job and someone else makes a mistake, that's just reality. It's not that you wanted it, but it does happen.
I actually find it
And
easier.
it may result in you making it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I find it easier when I competed to remove myself from the venue then, because I couldn't cope with the mental pressure of wanting to do well but not knowing how to control my self.
Yeah. That's true. And and I know the skaters, they'll go up into the stands and they're conflicted. They don't want to see colleagues and friends fall, but they know that that's required in order for them to make it. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a real conflicting. That's another thing that you learn. You have to learn how to cope and deal and put in perspective all those feelings that you have and the realities.
And I would say, I sense from this pair's discipline that there is some of the greatest camaraderie across the 4 disciplines.
Yeah.
And Naomi Williams actually was a wonderful example of that. She, in practice this morning,
She's great.
She's great, and I saw her applauding one of the other team's throws. And
No,
she
she's waving
finds
up
the
at somebody
camera.
that. No, but she was looking up at the stands. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
That's
but
great.
she was applauding. I can't remember which other team it was that she was applauding, but I so appreciate seeing that.
Well, you know what? We've seen this for years. In juniors, there's something a little bit different. They do it in seniors as well, but it's more stress. It's more high end and career forming,
Defining,
really, and
yeah.
defining, exactly. But here in juniors, this is just a journey, and this is a thrill for the kids to be here in a foreign country and see their friends, their mom and dad up in the audience, and those who have an external personality, Naomi does, and feel comfortable to do that, and others don't.
Yeah, and I do suspect that Naomi, I might be wrong in assuming this, but I think that she will be cheerleader team captain.
Oh yeah, she's
for
totally.
the American support team when they finished and they
She's already
support others.
she's already signed a contract, I'm sure.
Excellent. Good work.
And here we go, the final group. Boy, so much on the line here. And the nerves might be just a little bit tighter as we take a look at our first team representing Canada, Julia Potoki and Etienne Lacasse. They're currently 4th after the short program, and they'll need a good skate now to stay there or move up.
And although this team aspires to become Junior Grand Prix finalists together, we have to be mindful that this is their first Junior Grand Prix season together. So new as a partnership as they skate Turning Page by Sleeping at Last.
I've waited 100 years, but I'd wait a million more for you. Nothing prepared me for what the privilege of being yours would do. If I had only felt the warmth within your touch, if I had only seen how you smile when you blush, or how you curl your lip when you concentrate enough, I would have known what I was living for. But I've been your love is my turning page, where only the sweetest words remain. Every kiss is a cursive line, every touch is
Team Canada cheers on Julia Quattrocchi and Etienne Lacasse. And I know they didn't get the triple salchow throw like they did when they competed in Ankara, but to me, Ted, the thing I was blown away with was the way in which Etienne engaged with the storytelling throughout all of that.
And me too with Julia, because I saw her move. You know, her movements were more, were bigger, were more heartfelt, were more believable in this program. I felt that they didn't leave any stone unturned. They not only tried the technical elements, but they tried to connect emotionally to the music.
And really interesting because we saw Chen and Dong, who were so brilliant technically with far higher value elements than the Canadians that have just skated. But from a program components perspective, this from a presentation was just so sincere. It was really quite touching. I mean, it's beautiful music as well.
Yeah, well, that helps.
Yeah.
There's the double twist coming in level 4, so all 4 features achieved there. Take a look at the double axles. Good, keeps the hand off the ice. Double Lutz and the single axles, that was all done nicely. They were really had good energy other than the step out at the end. Good energy throughout that part of the program. The group 3 lift down the line in the program, level 4 with a positive GOE as well. So really strong lifting team. And then here's the throw, triple salchow. Look good in the air, just slow with that free leg, broke at the waist, but prevents the fall.
And I think you said that they've been a little bit injured. I know that previously they'd hoped to do 2 throw triples at this event, but perhaps some injuries had sidelined that progression. But still, a positive experience, and they
Let's
represent
take a look.
themselves well.
Season's best 95.94, so they're pleased with that number. That is second in the free program with a total competition score as we wait. 150.45, and that will put them second with 3 teams to come. So that's going to maybe, not guaranteed, it depends what the other teams do, might move them down 1 spot. There is our next team, full of personality. They represent the United States of America, Naomi Williams and Lachlan Lewer.
And as I said in this short program, they are very clear in their intention to fight for a final spot as they are supported rinkside. That said, whilst they find themselves in 3rd place after the short program, it is already close in the scores.
Music was my first love, and it will be my last. Music of the future, and music of the past.
America's Naomi Williams and Lachlan Lewer doing all they can to try to find a spot at the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan, and I sensed that the team was tactically trying to ensure that a simpler planned program content would give them the goals that they have coming into this event. It is going to be so incredibly tight, though. They elected to do side-by-side double toes. It was a double twist, and the planned program content initially had triple versions of those, and then the normally consistent double axel, not the case for Naomi on this occasion.
Yeah, they were looking to stay in third, not to move up to second.
Yeah.
And I understand the strategy for sure. They want to make the final. That's the goal here. We'll have to see whether their scores right at the moment, they look to be okay.
Well, oh gosh, it's all just so. I feel like we're back at the skates to Milano Olympic qualifier where the.
Well, you didn't know what was going to happen.
The repercussions of what could happen.
Rolling around.
Yeah.
As we take a look at the twist, double twist, level 3.
Gorgeous.
And group 5, reverse lift. Great lift. He's a wonderful partner there. Look at how fast his feet are moving so smooth across the ice. Great ice coverage on the lifts. Here's the throw. Double flip. And the last spin on the piano. Short on replays because we are a little bit behind time. I was playing the replays too long. Now we're going to cut them a little bit.
And certainly from a presentation perspective, if we're thinking of the second mark and the program components, the presentation is quite wondrous for this team. Great team, great energy. And they have the floral headbands from No Name Face.
And good emotional music, building up. It's going to be interesting.
They need 97.9 to lead. Importantly, 95.58 per second as well. So, and bearing in mind that when they competed in Riga, they had 101.5. So
more content.
Yeah, Casa.
Oh, don't worry, the scores are coming up.
Yeah, they had more.
91.32. That is fourth, in fact, in the free program with a total competition score, and this is what is important. 146.20, and that puts them third overall with 2 teams to come. Wow. I didn't quite expect that, but making the program a little simpler to stay safe, or maybe they didn't. We don't know the strategy or why, but Now this team, Jasmine Desrochers, Kieran Thrasher of Canada, 57.30 after the short program. They are in second. They need a good skate to secure that second spot, if not move up, but secure the second to have enough points to qualify for Nagoya.
This team eager to go to their third consecutive Junior Grand Prix final. Skating again to the Led Zeppelin piece, Since I've Been Loving You.
since I've been loving you, yeah.
Canada's Jasmine Desrochers and Kviderova and Thrasher having a post-run-through debrief as they make their way to the centre ice for their bye. I find so interesting about this team, Ted, is just the energy of them is so wonderful together. She's so enigmatic. I don't know if enigmatic is the right word, but she's just so engaging, and he's so supportive of her. The energy combination of these two very different performers, I just really enjoy.
Yeah, and I think they did a terrific job with their skating skills throughout this program. They used their knees a lot, the rhythm of their
knee action is great.
Yeah, the knee action throughout the program, and they're aggressive. They don't ever pull back and just glide. They're always trying to accelerate, which is exciting. And I think that's a great asset. It's really matured that program overall. And some of the technical elements, we've seen the throws have been just beautiful in practice sometimes, and even in the warm-up, but they were a little bit off in this program. It's always a little nerve-wracking, and that's still not underdeveloped, but still, I don't think Jasmine has the confidence yet 100% under a pressure situation, but she has it. She has the technique down in practice session really nicely. As we take a look at the triple twist, that's in a level 3 with a plus 1.38 GOE, so that's a good score. The double axles here, get it done, good work. Up into the single, and I'm going, no, just keep it simple. No, we're going double, and they did it. Good for them.
And what I find fascinating as well as we look at this, the throw triple loop, which incurred the fall, is that, I remember when they first came on the Junior Grand Prix and you were explaining that she was a star skater, a skater that was not as competitive in her earlier skating experience, as we see her step out of the throw triple salchow. And so that made sense of some of the technique stuff that she had, but the progression that is being made, obviously so much
it's amazing.
Work is being done with a real... I just don't know, they just seem really united.
And they'll be in senior in the national championships, and I think this team has a great senior career coming. They've got some years to develop the technical jumping skills and the throws and stuff, and that's coming along so well already, right? It's only going to get better. And then when it all comes together, this is going to be a very, very, it already is an impressive team, but technically it'll be more impressive. So, yeah, bright future. They'll need a 95.4, and they have it. Season's best 103.20. That is first in the free program. They have guaranteed themselves of a silver for sure here with a total competition score. We'll see that in a moment.
So they've been to Beijing for a
with
final.
160.50.
Beijing for a final, Grenoble last year for a final, and Nagoya, Japan.
There you go. Wow. Okay, as they take the lead. It's going to be close. As we take a look at the final team representing China, Zhang Zhang and Wen Qianfen.
Already performing, already expressing an in-character for Zhang and Feng. Notre Dame de Paris, the soundtrack for their skate. China's Zhang and Feng. And you just get an insight into what it means to the athletes. You can see there the strapping on the hand, and their teammates, Chen and Dong, who are looking just as excited for their training mates as they are with their own skate, and that's gorgeous to see. Really lovely to see.
Yeah.
But for me, interestingly, I think that Chen and Dong will be competitive with Zhang and Feng.
Only a matter of time.
For sure.
Yeah, the Chinese pair teams have really come to play this year in the Junior Grand Prix, and I know there are many more back home in the factory.
Yeah.
Getting trained.
But what I really appreciated is seeing a little bit of an insight into their off-ice connection as well, and there's more effusive joy on and off the ice, evident for all to see, and really allowing themselves to be emotive.
Triple twists, level 3. Here's the throw triple flip. Huge. And that comes in with a 6.8 points, 9 points on that one element. The forward outside death spiral, they're one of the few teams to do that. Even in senior, I think there are maybe a couple in senior that do it as well. It's the most difficult of the death spirals.
And brought into the community from Shen and Zhao.
Yeah. And there's the throw triple loop. Just the ankle started to collapse a little bit. I think she kept her hands off the ice, not sure. And the group 4 lift a little bit later in the program. Comes into level 3 near the end of the program.
And they fell on the throw triple loop in their first Junior Grand Prix assignment, so progression made. For me, program component scores stronger for the Canadians who lead currently, Desrochers and Thrasher, but 2 throw triples, and the tech score will be the strength for this team.
Yeah, no question. No question. That's their strength.
And so if they are to maintain the lead that they had after their short program, then they too, alongside the Canadians, will absolutely and indisputably make their way to the final.
So first top 2 spots would be secured. And then after that, what else do we have in this competition? Mark, I know you're feverishly working away here, trying to figure it out. Going, I don't know. Okay, season best 105.54. They are first in the free program, which will make them the champions here in Gdansk. 4 thumbs are up, 169.11. They take the title here, and they take their trip to Nagoya for the Junior Grand Prix final in early December.
I actually think that the top 4 teams, as they share a lovely hug there, the top 4 teams at this event will qualify to the Grand Prix final alongside Eva Kemp, Jonathan Lazarov, and Rui Guo and Yiwen Zhang. So there will be 3 teams.
3 Chinese teams, yeah. And 2 Canadian teams.
Yep.
Wow, that's going to be exciting. As we take a look at the final standings in the pairs free program and the pairs event here in Gdansk, event number 2 on the second day of competition. And there you go.
3 Chinese, 3 Canadians.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be exciting. Okay, that concludes the coverage of the pairs event. Up next will be the women's. It is a long event. We have to admit that. It's 38 women, I believe. It'll take, I believe, 6 hours. But we will also crown the champion there, and we'll probably find out a lot more about who is going to. I don't think we cannot definitively say who's going to make the final after this event. Of course, we've got Abu Dhabi next week, but we will start to see the shape.
The Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan.
Absolutely. So this concludes our coverage of the pairs free program. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you'll join us for the women's free coming up in just a little while.